Well, will this be the night that the Saskatoon Berries break the record for most wins in the regular season in the Western Canadian Baseball League? Good evening, Les Lazaruk with you from Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, where the Saskatoon Berries will finish off the regular season, their last 3 games, tonight against the Regina Red Sox, and then tomorrow and holiday Monday afternoon against the Medicine Hat Mavericks. The Berries with a record of 44 wins and 8 losses. 44 wins was how many Sylvan Lake had last year with a 44-12 record. The Berries won't play a 56th game because a game in Medicine Hat was rained out twice, and they're just not going to get it in this year. So the Berries are 44-8. They've got 3 chances to break the record of 45 wins put up last year by Sylvan Lake. Berries losing last night in Regina, 7-6 in 10 innings. Berries are 9-1 in their last 10 games, 23-2 here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, and 7-2 Saskatoon has a record against the Regina Red Sox head-to-head this season. The Red Sox, 27-26, they're in 3rd place in the East Division, 5-5 in their last 10 games, 11-14 on the road, and 2-7 head-to-head against the Berries. The Red Sox are basically going to finish in 3rd and will play Medicine Hat in the first round of the playoffs. All they need is a win or a Moose Jaw loss to clinch 3rd place, and that would mean the Miller Express would play Saskatoon in the first round of the playoffs starting on Wednesday. It is hockey jersey night, and the Berries are wearing different-looking jerseys tonight. So as we get set and ready for our national anthem. The umpires for tonight's game behind home plate, it's Trevor Drury. At first base, Lloyd Tulpin. The third base umpire is the crew chief for the group, Phil McGee. Looking at the Berries defensively, around the outfield from right to left. In right field, it is Evan Janner. The center fielder is Carter Beck. And the left fielder, Jalen Freeman. In the infield from left to right, third baseman Mason Rell, shortstop Nathan Houston. The second baseman is Cooper Westland, and the first baseman is Corey Waters. The catcher is Rudy Gonzalez, and the starting pitcher tonight for the Saskatoon Berries is Michael Saul. Michael Saul getting the call tonight. His 11th appearance of the season and his 7th start. He has just 1 win as a decision, a 4.50 earned run average. 34 innings pitched. He's allowed 27 hits, 22 runs, 17 of them earned, struck out 37, and walked 14. Michael Saul is a 6'2", 205-pound right-hander out of Omaha, Nebraska, coming off his freshman year at the University of Nebraska. And he will face The top three in the Regina Red Sox batting order to start here in the top of the first inning. Second baseman Zaid Brannigan, right fielder Raphael Jackson, and shortstop Matthew Fox. Berries and Red Sox. 3 straight games between the two teams. They know each other pretty well. Off of the last couple of nights in Regina at Curry Field. Berries winning back on Thursday night 10-3. And then Regina coming back to win 7-6 in 10 innings last night. 10th and final head-to-head meeting of the season between these two teams. For Michael Saul, he has one appearance this year against Regina. That was back on June 25th here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. He started, pitched 5 innings and allowed just 3 hits, no runs, struck out 3. The Berries, though, had to win late. He did not get the decision. It was a 6-5 victory for the Berries over the Regina Red Sox. As Rudy Gonzalez pegs the ball down to second base, and we are moments away from getting underway on a pretty nice night here in Saskatoon. We had some showers earlier on come through the area. But right now, mostly cloudy skies, 24 degrees Celsius, a northeast wind at 9 kilometers an hour. There's still talk of a 30% chance of showers early this evening, as well as the risk of a thunderstorm, but partly cloudy otherwise, so 30%. You call a very slight chance. As Saul, first pitch is in there for a strike to Zaid Brannigan at 6:01 on Saturday, August the 2nd. Yes, we are into August. Breaking ball popped up, right field into foul territory. Coming over with room is Evan Janner. He'll make the catch. 1 away here for Regina in the top of the first inning. He'll bring up Raphael Jackson, who has been red hot of recently. He's on a current 5-game hitting streak, but has hits in 22 of his last 23 games, and it's boosted his average up to 347. 66 hits and 190 at-bats. He also has 6 home runs and 35 RBI. Saul's first pitch is strike 1. Raphael Jackson from the Virgin Islands, coming off his senior year at Point University. On the outside corner, strike 2. Saul quickly ahead of Raphael Jackson. 2-strike delivery, breaking ball down low, ball 1. Matthew Fox, the shortstop, on deck. Fox, Jackson, Brady By, the 2, 3, 4 hitters in the Regina lineup, have been on a pretty good roll the last month for each of the 3. Pretty good numbers as a result. That one's upstairs and a slight bit outside, 2-2. 2-2, 1 away here in the top of the first inning. We're just nicely underway. Saturday night baseball. Strike 3 called. Jackson didn't take the bat off his shoulders. 2 away. It'll bring up Matthew Fox, shortstop for the Regina Red Sox. He's hitting .327, 64 hits and 196 at-bats. 8 home runs and 41 RBIs. First pitch up high, he holds off swinging the bat. He was tempted to go. Ball 1. And up high again, the slider, 2-0. Fox tied for 10th with those RBI totals of 41 in the Western Canadian Baseball League. Fouled back high on the screen. 2 balls, 1 strike. Fox is also second in the WCBL in doubles with 18. Breaking pitch on the ground. Mason Rell picks at third, throws across the diamond in time, and that's a 1-2-3 top of the first inning for Michael Saul against the Regina Red Sox. No runs, no hits, no Berries errors, nobody left on base. After a half an inning, it's Regina nothing, and the Saskatoon Berries coming to bat as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. you go. So here we go, bottom of the first inning in Saskatoon at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Saskatoon Berries will come up and face Chris Spry, starting pitcher for tonight. Spry making his 7th appearance of the season, his 5th start. He has a complete game to his credit. A 2-0 record, a 4.68 earned run average, 25 innings pitched. He's allowed 21 hits, 16 runs, 13 of them earned. He has struck out 29 and walked 26 in 25 innings. So Spry can be kind of all over the map with his pitching. He can strike you out, but he can also fail to find the plate and walk you. Spry has pitched once against the Berries this season. Here in Saskatoon on June 25th, he pitched 5 innings, allowed 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 of them earned, struck out 10 and walked 6. So it kind of gives you an idea. First pitch to Carter Beck is a strike. 10 strikeouts and 6 walks in 5 innings. 1 strike pitch in there again, strike 2 to Beck. Comes into the game with the 5th best batting average in the WCBL at .379. 61 hits and 169 at-bats for the Carn of Saskatchewan product. 0-2 pitch, he reaches and lifts a little fly ball and pop up in behind third base, caught there by the shortstop, Matthew Fox, and there's one away. Cooper Westland, the second baseman on deck. Mason Rell, the third baseman, is the guaranteed to hit this half inning. Red Sox defensively in the outfield from right to left. Raphael Jackson in right field. Ian Montz in center. Jordan Tucker's in left field. Around the infield, at left to right, Riley Bender is the third baseman. Matthew Fox at short. Zaid Brannigan at second as the first pitch to Cooper Westland is in for a strike. First baseman is James Wright. The catcher is Rhett Hodgins. And Chris Spry, the starting pitcher. 1 strike pitch to Westland. Fastball in there for a strike. Spry coming in here with strikes to start the ball game. 5 pitches, all have been in the strike zone. Left-hander. Kicks and delivers. On the ground towards the second baseman, Brannigan, who got a nice hop to him, and throws on in time to first for 2 away. Spry is from Skiatook, Oklahoma. Coming off his senior year at Rogers State. 6'2", 210-pound left-handed pitcher. Brings up Mason Rell, Barry's third baseman. Hitting .350 on the year. First pitch in for a strike. 56 hits and 160 at-bats for Rell. 3 home runs and 35 RBI. Finally, Spry throws a pitch out of the strike zone. 1-1. Spry's uniform top is coming unbuttoned as well. Hit back through the middle, past Spry, but Brannigan behind second ranges over to field and throw on to first in time, and that's a 1-2-3 bottom of the first inning for the Saskatoon Berries. No runs, no hits, no Red Sox errors, and nobody left on base after an inning. We're just nicely underway and getting warmed up to it. Scoreless between Saskatoon and Regina. Big City Saskatchewan rivalry. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Ready for the top of the second inning, Michael Saul back out to pitch for the Saskatoon Berries. Meanwhile, already there's action down the left field line in the Regina Red Sox bullpen. It is number 6, Sam Baker, normally an infielder, but he has done some pitching for the Red Sox. Meanwhile, Michael Saul's first pitch is at the knees on the outside corner. A strike to Brady By, the designated hitter. By, a Regina product and an all-star this year. Hitting .342, 54 hits and 158 at-bats. 9 home runs, 38 runs batted in. Saul up outside 1-1. Saul kicks and delivers. By on the ground towards second, past the diving Westland into right field. And there's our first base runner and base hit of the ball game. Brady By leading off the top of the second inning with a single. His second hit, his fifth hit of the year against the Berries. 5 for 23 now, head-to-head against Saskatoon. Puts his average up above 200. Came into the game hitting .182 against the Berries head-to-head. A pitch at the knees for a strike to James Wright, the first baseman. Saul ready to go again. That one's inside, ball 1. Wright hitting .319, 43 hits and 135 at-bats. No home runs, 22 runs batted in, and Saul trying to get a curveball and let it go at the bad release point and hits James Wright. That's the 16th time this year that James Wright has been hit by a pitch. He came into the game tied for third in that department in the WCBL. So 2 men on and nobody out, and it brings up the number 6 hitter, the center fielder Ian Montz, who got off to a slow start upon his arrival to the team, but has picked it up. First pitch swinging, hits a fly ball that is twisting down the left field line and ends up being foul. Montz from Lafayette, Louisiana, coming off his senior year at Louisiana State University Shreveport campus. Hitting .296, 34 hits and 115 at-bats, 4 home runs, 18 RBIs for the 6'4", 200-pound left-handed hitter. Michael Saul pitches up high, 1-1. Riley Bender, third baseman, on deck. Saul checks on the runners at second and first. Montz up the middle, taken by Westland. Flipped the short second for 1, on to first. Double play. Interesting hop for Cooper Westland to take, but he was able to stay with it and drop to a knee and able to flip the ball to Nathan Houston and the relay in time to get Montz as Brady By moves over to third base. There's 2 away here in the top of the second inning. So now Riley Bender, the third baseman, to the plate. And that pitch gets away from Rudy Gonzalez, and that will allow the first run to score as Brady By trots in from third base. Pass ball or wild pitch becomes the question. Pass ball. Ball 1 as Regina goes up 1-0. Up high to Bender, 2-0. Riley Bender hitting .280, 46 hits and 164 at-bats. 2 home runs, 31 runs batted in. He'll foul pitch off and be 2-1 now. Rhett Hodgins, the catcher, on deck. And that one's at the knees on his fastball, 2-2. Berries with this jersey, utilizing both their main colors. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 2 for Michael Saul in ball game. He gets out of the inning, but not before Regina scores a run. On a hit, no Berries errors, nobody left on base. After an inning and a half, Regina 1, Saskatoon no score, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. So Chris Spry comes out for the bottom of the second inning with a lead. His team scoring a run, a leadoff single, a hit batsman, a double play ball, and then a pass ball allowing Brady Bye to score. Spry will face the middle third of the Berries order here in the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Ethan Murdoch, the designated hitter, shortstop Nathan Houston, and first baseman Corey Waters coming up to face Spry. Spry's first pitch to Murdoch is at the knees, strike 1. Update the conditions weather-wise, as that one is outside, ball 1, 1-1. Calling it mostly cloudy skies now, although it's a fair amount of blue sky out there. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. Murdoch took a big cut there, way out in front, 1-2. 25 degrees Celsius now it is. East-northeast breeze at 10 kilometers per hour. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Spry has his first strikeout of the night. Set down the first 4 Berries. As Nathan Houston, Regina high school guy, went to high school at Martin Collegiate in Regina. Melville is his hometown, though. Played last season with Moose Jaw in this league. Takes a strike from Chris Spry. Spry quickly into the delivery. Fly ball into right field. Coming on Raphael Jackson. He'll make the catch, 2 away. That'll bring up Corey Waters, the first baseman. Saskatoon product Waters hitting .361. 60 hits and 166 at-bats. 11 home runs and 42 RBI. The 11 home runs tied for third in the league. Pounds the first pitch foul, wide of third base, strike 1. Ethan Menard is tied for the league lead in home runs with Wilmer Enriquez of Swift Current, both with 12. Outside with that pitch to Waters, 1-1. Evan Janner, the right fielder, on deck for Saskatoon. Off-speed changeup, stays high, 2-1. Waters has homered in each of the last 2 games against Regina. Down low, 3-1. So Spry pitching carefully to the right-handed hitter. 3-1 pitch is up and away. That's a ball 4, and that's the first base runner of the night for the Saskatoon Berries. It'll bring up Evan Janner. Right fielder is on a 6-game hitting streak coming into tonight, hitting .265 for the year. 27 hits and 102 at-bats. Got 4 home runs and 23 RBI. Swing and a miss at the first pitch, strike 1. Rudy Gonzalez is on deck, the Berries catcher. Left-hander Chris Spry. Breaking ball fouled off, and that's going to be up and out of play. 2 strikes quickly on Janner. 2 out here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Regina Red Sox with a 1-0 lead on the Saskatoon Berries. 2-strike pitch from Spry is down low, ball 1, 1-2. Spry's 1-2 pitch. Janner hits it well to right field, but Jackson goes back a couple of steps. Medium length right field makes the catch, and that is the end of the 2nd inning. Good contact off the bat, it sounded like, but a little bit too much elevation off the bat of Evan Janner. For the Berries, no runs, no hits. No Regina errors, 1 runner left on base. After 2 complete, it's Regina 1, Saskatoon no scores. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Okay, we just need 1 hit there. Nope. And then on this side, no hits. No hits. And 1 runner left on base. That's it. Hey, you're good. Well, Ry Pathakos, the head coach of the Regina Red Sox, must just be having guys getting out there and doing some throwing to get some throwing in on regular type work. As we're into the top of the 3rd inning, Regina leads 1-0. Chris Spry has been very strong so far at the mound through 2 innings for Regina, but a second different pitcher throwing down in the left field line from the bullpen. That's Quinn Boreen after Sam Baker was throwing back a couple of innings ago. Regina, with the 1-0 lead, will send up catcher Red Hodgins and left fielder Jordan Tucker for the first time tonight against Michael Saul. And then top of the order for Zaid Brannigan as the first pitch to Red Hodgins is down low, ball 1. Spry has had a very good start to the ball game. Unofficially 24 pitches. This one's popped up and will land out of play, just in behind the 3rd base bleachers and into the plaza area. 1-1. Saul's 1-1 is up high, 2-1. Hodgins hasn't played a lot for the Red Sox, a latecomer to the team. This is just his 12th game. Fouls that pitch up the first baseline, 2-2 the count. Hodgins, a Regina product, coming off his freshman year at Taft College. Says here on the roster he's a right-handed hitter, yet here he is in the left-hand batter's box, so he might be a switch hitter. 5 for 20 coming into the game tonight. Now he'll call time as Michael Saul shakes off the sign of Rudy Gonzalez for what they're going to throw to him on a 2-2 pitch. Hodgins gets well into this one. Right center field, going after it. Janner won't get to it. That one will roll all the way to the wall. Hodgins will get to second and put on the brakes as Carter Beck gets the ball back into the infield. And a leadoff double for Rhett Hodgins. His second of the year out of 6 hits. It'll bring up Jordan Tucker, right-handed hitting left fielder for Regina. Hitting .298 on the year, 53 hits in 178 at-bats, 4 home runs and 31 runs batted in. Saul's first pitch fouled back to the screen. Strike 1. Tucker from Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, coming off his sophomore year at Rogers State. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Saul gets ahead. Now the 2-strike pitch. Hit well into the air to left field. Jalen Freeman going back onto the track, and it's off the fence. Bounce back towards the infield. Here comes a throw home, trying to get the catcher Hodgins, and unable to make the catch was Rudy Gonzalez. Off of his glove to the backstop. Covering up is the pitcher Saul. Hodgins scores to make it 2-0. Jordan Tucker will take third on the throw home, as Hodgins had to wait to see if Freeman would make the catch on that deep drive to left field and was unable to come up with it. So a double for Tucker and an RBI. And advances to third on the throwing error by Nathan Houston out in left field. First pitch to Zaid Brannigan, the leadoff man. Foul back to the screen, strike 1. Now down low and a good block by Rudy Gonzalez with the runner on third base, Tucker. 1-1 the count on Brannigan. Nobody out here in the top of the third inning. One run in and a runner on third. Saul's 1-1 on the outside corner. A slider is in for a strike, 1-2. Right fielder Raphael Jackson on deck. 1-2 pitch, and this one is hit foul up the third baseline. Regina Red Sox all indicating it should be fair, especially those down in the left field line bullpen, but I think Phil McGee was a little closer at a better angle than what those fellas did. Count holds at 1-2. Saul's 1-2 pitch. Again, bounced in. Good block again by Gonzalez. 2-2 the count. Brannigan fouled out a fly ball down in foul territory down the right field side back in the first inning. He'll hit another one, sliced foul into the right field area. In to catch it is Evan Janner. His throw home, and they'll all the way back to the backstop, and hanging on to it at third base as hands to the head of the third base coach, Brody Boyenko. The runner, Jordan Tucker, was about halfway to home plate when the stop sign was thrown up, not to come in. And then Janner's throw was wide of home plate and got by catcher Rudy Gonzalez all the way to the backstop. And again, Tucker couldn't make his way home. So one away on what probably should have been a sacrifice fly. Instead, Tucker holds at third, and Raphael Jackson, who struck out in the first inning, hits a fly ball into left field. Jalen Freeman coming on. He'll make the catch. Tucker again starts for home and then stops as Tucker with a good peg into the outfield where Mason Rell cuts it off. And now 2 away. It'll bring up Matthew Fox, the shortstop, who grounded out to the third baseman Rell back in the first inning. Fox coming into the game on a 3-game hitting streak, 3 for 10 in that time with 3 RBI. He was 1 for 3 last night in the 7-6 Regina victory. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball down low, strike 1. Fox, the shortstop, 6'4", 200 pound, coming off his freshman year at Golden West Community College. Hits this one up the middle. That'll be a solid single. Drives in a run. Jordan Tucker in to make it 3-0. And Fox on first. So Brady By, the designated hitter, coming up, and here comes Joe Carnahan, the Berries head coach, out to chat with Michael Saul. There is action down the right field line in the bullpen, and is the call going out? Matthias Tronson. Yeah, that's going to be the end of the line for Michael Saul. Matthias Tronson will come into the ball game. Saul will get 2 2/3 innings out of this start. So we will have a pitching change here for the Berries. Saul pitching 2 2/3 innings. Gives up 4 hits. He's still responsible for the runner on first base. Struck out 2, hit a batter. Faced 12 batters. And again, unofficially, threw 42 pitches. So we have a look here at Matthias Tronson coming into the ball game. Let's get you some numbers and background on Matthias. Will be making his 11th appearance of the season. His 8th out of the bullpen. 3 wins, no losses. A 4.06 earned run average. 24 in the third innings pitched. He's allowed 19 hits, 12 runs, 11 of them earned. Struck out 27 and walked 11. Matthias Tronson is from Toronto. 6'5", 220-pound right-hander coming off his sophomore year at Eastern New Mexico University. And Matthias Tronson will come on and face Brady By. By singled to lead off the second inning and eventually came around to score. Runner on first right now in Matthew Fox. First pitch on the outside corner to By is a called strike. Berries going into the bullpen before all of their position players have had a chance to bat against Chris Spry of the Regina Red Sox, who have a 3-0 lead. By fouls that pitch back onto the screen. He's down 0-2. In the on-deck circle is James Wright, the first baseman. By was 1 for 4 last night. And he hits a line drive into right field. Evan Janner back and will make the catch. Janner's been busy in this ball game. He's already made 3 putouts. But Regina scores twice in the top of the third inning. On 3 hits, there was 1 Berry error and 1 runner left on base. After 2.5, it is Regina 3, Saskatoon no scores. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Bottom of the third inning. Saskatoon Berries find themselves down 3 to the Regina Red Sox. Chris Spry has had an effective first 2 innings, has yet to allow a hit, only seen 1 base runner, a walk, 1 strikeout as well. He's only thrown 24 pitches unofficially. He'll face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters of the Berries, catcher Rudy Gonzalez, left fielder Jalen Freeman, and center fielder Carter Beck up to face Chris Spry. Gonzalez hitting .211, 8 home runs and 38 runs batted in, or 8 hits and 38 at bats. First pitch, 1 hopper, and Spry able to spear that off to his right and throws him out for the first out. Jalen Freeman coming to bat, coming off his senior year at Eastern New Mexico University out of Portales, New Mexico. Breaking ball on the outside corner, strike 1. Freeman hitting .277. 38 hits in 137 at-bats, a home run and 25 runs batted in for the fleet-of-foot left fielder. 1 hopper, though, taken at third by Riley Bender and throws him out. 2 away so far here in the bottom of the third inning. Back to the top of the order for Carter Beck, who popped out to the shortstop Matthew Fox after falling behind 0-2 in the count. Beck hits in 4 of the last 5 games coming into tonight. 11 for 23 in those 4 games. Takes a strike from Chris Spry. Was hitting .478 coming into tonight's game in those 5 games with a home run and 4 RBI. Breaks his bat and hits a little wee nubber towards first base, and that'll be an easy out. It's got sawed off, to be sure. That's a 3-up, 3-down inning on ground balls for the Saskatoon Berries. Just 5 pitches for Chris Spry to get through the third inning. Through 3, it's Regina 3, Saskatoon no score. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Your unofficial line score through 3 innings tonight for the Regina Red Sox. 3 runs on 4 hits. They have not committed an error. They've left 1 runner on base. For the Saskatoon Berries, no runs, no hits. They've committed 1 error. They've left 1 runner on base. Matthias Tronson, second pitcher of the night for the Saskatoon Berries, coming on in relief of Michael Saul last inning. Back on the hill here for the top of the 4th. He'll face Regina's 5, 6, 7 hitters. First baseman James Wright, center fielder Ian Montz, and third baseman Riley Bender. Wright was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning. Did not play last night. Was 0 for 3 against the Berries on Thursday. And for the season series is 2 for 11 against Saskatoon, hitting .182. First pitch swinging. This is a fly ball that's slicing towards right fielder Evan Janner in right center field, and he'll make the catch. Ian Montz coming to the plate. Montz grounded into a double play his first time up in the 2nd inning. He was 1 for 2 with a solo home run last night in the 7-6 win. 3 for 6 in the 2 games against the Berries in Regina the last 2 nights. Looping, breaking ball in there for a strike. And head-to-head for the year so far, Mont's 7 for 21, hitting .333 with a home run and 2 RBI. Another breaking ball from Tronson down low, 1-1. One pitch upcoming to Ian Montz. Fly ball down the left field side, but that is slicing foul and into the party patio. Down left field side. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count on Ian Montz. Tronson works out of the stretch even with nobody on. His 1-2 pitch is down low, 2-2 to Montz. It's the first time Tronson's pitching against Regina this year. Breaking ball inside and a full count on Ian Montz. Again, this is Tronson's 11th appearance of the year, and 8th of them in relief now. And that one's down low, ball 4. So a 1-out walk puts the center fielder on first base. Montz likes to try and take off and steal bases. He has 7 steals, but he's also been thrown out 5 times. As Riley Bender, the third baseman, is up. Struck out his first time up. First pitch, slider is in for a strike. Bender from Kingwood, Texas, coming off his senior year at Mary Hardin College and Baylor University. Fouls that back out of the play. 2 strikes, the count on Bender with catcher Rhett Hodgins on deck. Bender won for his last 11 over 3 games plus, including tonight. 2-strike pitch up coming to him from Matthias Tronson. Montz takes off, and Gonzalez bobbled the exchange from glove to throwing hand. Pitch was a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Montz, with his 8th stolen base of the year, is in scoring position. For Regina, that's 91 stolen bases as a team on the year. As Bender loops a little pop-up. Foul territory. Corey Waters coming over, has room, makes the catch. Just outside the Berries' first base dugout. He was getting help from his teammates saying, there's room, there's room, there's room. And there was, barely. But there's 2 away with the runner on second base, and Rhett Hodgins, the catcher, coming up. Hodgins doubled and scored last inning, leading off the top of the 3rd. Left-handed hitter from Regina. Swing and a miss, strike 1. He did not play in either of the last 2 games against the Saskatoon Berries in Regina at Curry Field, either on Thursday or Friday. His double makes him 1 for 3 head-to-head against the Berries. Down low, good job blocking there by Rudy Gonzalez. Mentioned Hodgins coming off his freshman year at Taft College in 2023. He was an affiliate player with the Red Sox and saw some action. Did not play last year with Regina. A breaking pitch, check swing, and they're going to appeal, and they will not be granted the appeal. Ball 2, 2-1. Left fielder Jordan Tucker on deck. Had the umpire been down the third baseline, that might have been a different call, but he's out by second base. On the outside corner, Trevor Drury calls this a strike, 2-2. On Rhett Hodgins. Hodgins has 7 RBI this year in just 6 hits and 21 at-bats. So he's been productive, had productive plate appearances. Tronson steps off the pitching rubber. As we get one of our favorite lines on the scoreboard here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, the top line with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Hodgins strikes out against Matthias Tronson to end the inning. For Regina in the top of the 4th. No runs, no hits, no Barry's errors, 1 runner left on base. After 3.5, Regina 3, Saskatoon no score. You're watching Barry's baseball on FloCollege. Bottom of the 4th inning here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 3-0 Regina with the lead. Let's take a look around the west of the Western Canadian Baseball League. An afternoon game today. Brooks bounced Fort McMurray 13-4. There's a 3-way team battle for the 4th and final playoff spot in the West Division, and Brooks, I think, really helped themselves out with that win this afternoon. Okotoks leads Lethbridge 3-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Swift Current and Moose Jaw. Energy City at Sylvan Lake, not yet started. Same thing, Medicine Hat and Weyburn. Okotoks and Lethbridge are playing a doubleheader tonight. Okotoks has all but clinched first place in the West Division. They just need one more win, and they've got it. Cooper Westland with a bunt up the first baseline. A great bunt, and he will slide in safely. Left-handed pitcher falling off to the third base side. The bunt up the first base line, and the first baseman had to try and come and field it and make the play and could not do so. So there's your first hit of the game for the Berries, a bunt single by Cooper Westland. Let's see if this gets the Berries' offense kick-started as Mason Rell comes up. Rell grounded out to the second baseman first time up, and now he hits the same place. Brannigan to Fox for 1, on to first, and no, he's off the bag. Lloyd Telp, the first place umpire, says first baseman James Wright could not keep in contact with the bag when the throw arrived, and so it's a fielder's choice. Rell making to first base. Ethan Murdoch coming to the plate. 2 pitches, and we've had a little bit of action already. Taking off is Rell, the throw down, and Rell will steal it as the tag is a little late. Rell was putting the sliding glove on his hand and decided to take off without having it on his hand. He's kind of flapping around as he's running down to second base. He still hasn't got it on as he takes his lead off second. One ball on Ethan Murdoch. Spry, this one's outside, 2-0. Mason Rell with a stolen base. His 12th. Good lead off second. Pitch inside to Murdoch, 3-0. Nathan Houston, the shortstop, on deck. An infield single and then a bit of a wild throw or inability to hold on to the bag as a 3-0 pitch taken for a strike. Barry's with a runner on second, trying to get back into this ball game, trailing 3-0 in the bottom of the fourth inning. On the outside corner, 3-2, as Murdoch was already starting to head towards first base, thinking he'd drawn a walk. Now he'll have to settle back into the right-hand batter's box. He's hitting .324 on the year. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. He has struck out twice now, has Ethan Murdoch. Both of Chris Spry's strikeouts for the game. 2 away. Nathan Houston, who flew out to right field his first time up. Houston hitting .323, 61 hits and 190 at-bats now. Whatever that actually computes out to. First pitch is up in the strike zone, strike one. Trusty calculator on the computer says .321 for a batting average now. 2 home runs, 35 RBI for Nathan Houston. That one's on the outside corner. And Houston's behind 2 strikes. He'll be heading to Louisiana Tech University this fall, based in Ruston, Louisiana. 2-strike pitch upcoming from Chris Spry to Nathan Houston. Fouled off over top of the first base bleachers. He'll hold in there at 2 strikes with Corey Waters on deck, the Barry's first baseman. Houston back into the right-hand batter's box. The line is gone on the back end of that batter's box. If it was there, that right foot might be outside the box. But you can't tell anymore, so. Any extra millimeters of time with which to pick up the pitch are helpful. Pitch outside, no throw on the runner Rell, who's stolen third base now. Regina thought they had themselves a strikeout there to end the inning, but the pitch called outside by home plate umpire Trevor Drury. We have a 1-2 count now. And Mason Rell on third base. Spry's 1-2. Down low, gets away from the catcher. Here comes Rell, and he will score. Barry's on the board. 2-2 the count on Nathan Houston. A pass ball through the catcher, Rhett Hodgins. So we've had a pass ball allow a runner on each side to score. Now Houston, a 2-2 pitch, and Spry from his full delivery. Swing and a miss, strike three. Back-to-back strikeouts to get out of the inning. But the Berries do get a run. They manufacture it with a single. Mm-hmm. For the Berries in the bottom of the fourth inning, they had a run on one hit. There were no Regina errors and nobody left on base. As we head to the top of the fifth inning, Regina leads the Berries 3-1. Matthias Tronson back out to pitch for Saskatoon. Took over in the third inning from starting pitcher Michael Saul. He'll face the number 9 hitter Jordan Tucker, and then the top of the order, Zaid Brannigan and Raphael Jackson. Medicine Hat is here for the final 2 games of the regular season at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, and then the holiday Monday. It's called Saskatchewan Day now at 1 o'clock. Ball got away from the infielders on the throw around, so a new ball put into play, and Jordan Tucker, who doubled, it would have been an RBI if Red Hodgins hadn't been able to have picked up the ball off of the bat. Had to wait to determine whether or not the ball was going to be caught or not, as it was a long drive, a strike called on Tucker. Tucker put a good charge into it. Freeman went back and could not make the catch up against the left field fence. Hodgins hanging around second base in case, as that's in there for a strike. Took off and was waved in around for third. The Berries were able to get the throw to the plate, but it jumped away from Rudy Gonzalez. As Tucker, one hopper, Nathan Houston fields the throw on to first in time, one away. So it was determined that it was the error on the throw from short left field that bounced and skipped away from Rudy Gonzalez that allowed Red Hodgins to score. So not an RBI for Tucker. And now he grounds out. And upset with himself as he slams the handle of the bat, the knob end of the bat, onto the ground on his way back to the dugout. Zaid Brannigan takes a breaking pitch in for a strike. Brannigan 0 for 2. Comes into the game on an 8-game hitting streak. Bounced in, ball 1, 1-1. Brannigan's only playing in his 14th game with the Red Sox. From St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands, coming off his senior year at Georgia Gwinnett. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 1-2 on Zaid Brannigan. $12 for 25 coming into tonight on that 8-game hitting streak with a home run and 8 RBI. It's a 480 average, but he's 0 for 2 so far tonight. Down 1-2 in the count. That's just up high. 2-2. One out here in the top of the fifth inning. 3-1. Regina with the lead. Tronson up high again. We have a full count on the leadoff man, Zaid Brannigan. Raphael Jackson, the right fielder, on deck. Tronson kicks and delivers. Up and in, ball 4. Brannigan draws a walk. He has 4 stolen bases and been caught stealing once. With Raphael Jackson coming to the plate. Jackson 0 for 2, struck out in the first, flew out to left field in the third. He's on a 5-game hitting streak coming into tonight with a couple of home runs and 6 RBI in that time. First pitch fouled off, strike 1. Comes up high onto the screen right up above us. Our location, which again looks right down the right field line, not directly behind home plate, on the third base side in our center building here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Up high with a 1-strike pitch, 1-1 to Jackson. So let's say he's 7 for 19 on his streak that is pending, hitting .368. Breaking ball on the outside corner, 1-2. Raphael Jackson didn't take the bat off his shoulders on 5 pitches in the first inning. Striking out, looking. Swung at the first pitch his second time up. Brannigan goes, striking out as Jackson. The throw down to second is to the third base side of second base, and so Brannigan able to steal a base for the 5th time this year, but Raphael Jackson strikes out. Second strikeout of the appearance for Matthias Tronson, but Regina has a runner in scoring position as Matthew Fox comes to the plate. Fox singled and drove in a run in the 3rd inning. His 42nd RBI of the year, which breaks the tie for 10th place that he was in for RBIs in the Western Canadian Baseball League coming in. Slider was outside, ball 1. Fox 1 for 2. That hit extends his hitting streak to 4 games, during which he's now 4 for 12. Line drive right back up the middle base hit. Beck comes up with the ball in short center field. Here comes the throw home. Gonzalez can't come up with the ball as Brannigan able to slide in safely. And advancing to second on the throw is Matthew Fox. So Fox has come up big here tonight. 2 run-scoring singles, and it's 4-1 now for Regina. Would have been interesting if Gonzalez had been able to corral that throw from center field, whether Brannigan would have been safe or not. Instead, Brady Bye to the plate. And again, a runner on second with 2 away. And Bye, first pitch swinging, fly ball, center field. Beck going back and has room in front of the warning track in straightaway center to make the catch and end the inning. But a run for Regina in the top of the 5th on 1 hit. No Barry's errors and 1 runner left on base. After 4.5, we're halfway home. It is Regina 4, Saskatoon 1. You're watching Barry's baseball on FloCollege. I'll have a look right away. Yep. Back to the out-of-town scoreboard we go. And this one is of interest in the province of Saskatchewan, probably, and maybe to a few folks in Alberta. But for those of you down in the States, this is the Canadian Football League we're talking about. In the final game of Week 9 of the season, the West Division leading Saskatchewan Roughriders on the road lead in Montreal over the Alouettes 18-3, just underway in the 3rd quarter. They had a bit of a weather delay at halftime as lightning and thunder in the area, but they are just back underway starting the 3rd quarter, and the Riders at 6-1 with an 18-3 lead on a very good Montreal team who are 5-2. And here, Regina Red Sox lead the Saskatoon Berries 4-1 going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Corey Waters will lead it off, followed by Evan Janner and Rudy Gonzalez. Waters fouls the first pitch off, strike 1. He walked his first time up. Waters on a 7-game hitting streak coming into tonight. 11 for 30 in that time. 2 hopper to Matthew Fox at short. The throw across in time for the first out. Berries have had just the one hit so far in the ball game against Chris Spry. Evan Janner coming to the plate. He flew out to right fielder Raphael Jackson back in the second inning. Janner did not play last night. Was 1 for 5 in Regina in the 10-3 victory, as there's a breaking ball in for a strike. 1 for 5 in the 10-3 win back on Thursday. Janner hitting .350 against Regina this season. Hits this one in the air and behind third base. Matthew Fox and Riley Bender both there. Fox calls him off in foul territory and makes the catch. So 2 away quickly. And Rudy Gonzalez, who hit a little grounder back to the pitcher Spry to lead off the third inning, coming to the plate. Gonzalez also did not play last night in Regina, but played Thursday. It was 0 for 5 against the Red Sox. Looking for his first hit against Regina in the season series. The first pitch is inside, unable to be held by Red Hodgins. It skips away a little bit, and Chance Wheatley. Sorry, not Chance. It's the very second assistant coach in to get the ball. Pitch in there for a strike on Rudy Gonzalez. 1 ball, 1 strike. Arabin Gutierrez is the other assistant coach. He's working first base coach's box. Spry's 1-1 pitch. Down low to Rudy Gonzalez, 2-1. Jalen Freeman, the left fielder, is on deck. Hoping to get a crack at Chris Spry here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Down low again, 3-1 to Gonzalez. And inside, ball 4. Second walk issued tonight by Chris Spry. He's had a very efficient type of night, unofficially at 52 pitches here through 4 2/3 innings. Jalen Freeman now grounded out to the third baseman, Riley Bender. Bender was positioned perfectly about a third of the way off the third base line. Swing and a miss. A strike, the ball got away from Hodgins a little bit, and Gonzalez chose not to try and go after second base. But Freeman hit it on 1 hop right to Bender, positioned perfectly that last at bat in the 3rd inning. Gonzalez takes off. The pitch is outside, and Gonzalez goes and steals second uncontested. 3rd stolen base of the night for the Berries as a team. They came into the game leading the league with 137 thefts. Down low to Freeman, 2-1. Top of the order, Carter Beck on deck. 4-1 Regina leads here in the bottom of the 5th inning. On hockey night in Saskatoon, Berries wearing hockey-type jerseys. Hammered into the ground. Brannigan with it on to first, and just in time to get Jalen Freeman for the 3rd out. No runs, no hits, no Regina errors, 1 runner left on base. After 5, it's Regina 4, Saskatoon 1. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Matthias Tronson continues to be the pitcher now for the Saskatoon Berries. Came on with 2 away in the top of the 3rd inning. We're into the top of the 6th. Tronson has been able to hold Regina to just 1 run in 2 1/3 innings. On just the 1 hit he's allowed. Couple of walks, though. It was a walk that scored against him in last inning to make it 4-1. He'll face the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in James Wright, the first baseman, the center fielder Ian Montz, and the 3rd baseman Riley Bender here in the top of the 6th inning. As we're 2 hours or an hour and 12 minutes into the ball game tonight. Mostly cloudy skies in Saskatoon, 24 degrees Celsius, northeast breeze at 12 kilometers per hour. You can see the flags out above the right field scoreboard waving a little bit. Tronson's first pitch called strike on James Wright, who was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning, flew out to right field in the 4th. Breaking ball hit foul past 3rd base, 2 strikes. Wright came into the ball game hitting .319, 43 hits and 135 at-bats. No home runs and 22 RBI. Hits in 6 of 7 games coming into tonight. 7 for 24. That one's down low. Ball 1, 1-2. 6 RBI in those 7 games for James Wright. Right from Colorado Springs, Colorado. 1-2 pitch. A slider down low, 2-2. Wright coming off his junior year at Northern Colorado. Matthias Tronson now kicks and delivers 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3rd strikeout for Matthias Tronson in his appearance in 2 2/3 innings. Bring up Ian Montz, who walked and stole a base his last time up before he was stranded. Grounded into a double play his first time up. First pitch he showed bunt and takes it for a ball. Top of the 6th inning here in Saskatoon. Slider down low, 2-0. Berries will have the top of the order coming up in the bottom of the 6th inning against Chris Spry. That's in there for a strike, 2-1. Another pitcher warming up down the left field line for the Regina Red Sox has just stopped now. 2-1 pitch at the knees, strike 2. Montz check swing, thought it was low. Didn't get that call from home plate umpire Trevor Drury. And now Tronson's 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Matthias Tronson here in the top of the 6th inning. It'll bring up Riley Bender, the 3rd baseman. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out in the 2nd inning, fouled out to the first baseman Corey Waters in the 4th. Bender now 7 for 31, or 225, as this one's hit in the air. Right field, nearing the line, over to make the catch right on the foul line is Evan Janner, and it's a 1-2-3, top of the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no Berries errors, nobody left on base after 5.5. Regina 4, Saskatoon 1 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. did that, Lother? Yep. Down the right field line, there's action in the Saskatoon Berries bullpen as Matthias Tronson has pitched a very good 3 and a third innings tonight. Diego Quinones is warming up. We may see him next out of the pen for Joe Carnahan and the Berries. Meanwhile, Rai Patakos has to be thrilled with what he's getting out of Chris Spry tonight. Unofficially through 5 innings of work, 56 pitches. He's only given up 1 hit, 1 run, has struck out 3 and walked 2. Third time through the order now, starting up with Carter Beck, who's 0 for 2. Was 0 for 4 last night, and 6 for 27 on the year against Regina. A breaking ball on the outside corner, strike 1. Spry has done a good job of getting ahead of hitters. Now Beck shows bunt and fouls it off, 0 and 2. The only Berries hit was a bunt single by Cooper Westland, leading off the 4th inning. Westland is on deck. 2-strike pitch to Beck. Hits it in the air. Shallow right field. Jackson coming on, and it'll fall in. Base hit. And here's Beck heading for second, and he is going to be out. Took a chance trying to make something happen. The little bloop fell in no man's land between second baseman Zaid Brannigan, right fielder Raphael Jackson, and the center fielder Ian Mont. So it's a single, but then thrown out at second base. 9-6 is the play for the first out. So now Cooper Westland, who got a bunt single his first time up, takes a strike. Barry's trying to press the issue a little here. That's outside, 1-1. Mason Rell, the third baseman, on deck. Spry's 1-1 pitch is outside, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Spry. Breaking pitch. He hits it in the air. This one's going to hang up, and the left fielder, Jordan Tucker, will come on and make the catch, and there's 2 away. So it'll bring up Mason Rell, who's 0 for 2. Grounded out to second his first time up. Reached on a fielder's choice his second time up in the 4th inning. Stole a couple of bases and then came home on a pass ball for the only Berries run so far tonight. First pitch from Spry is a strike. Down and in, ball 1. On the outside corner, strike 2. This is the 21st hitter of the night for the Berries. Chris Spry has thrown strike 1 to 19 of the 21. You can be pretty effective as a pitcher doing that. He's up 1 and 2 on Mason Rell here. Outside with a fastball, 2-2. All quiet in the Regina left field bullpen. And fouled back off the screen. Actually off the bottom padding of the screen. It made a thud, not a clang. sound. Rel hangs in there at 2-2 with Ethan Murdoch on deck. 2-2 with 2 out. Outside. Full count. Berries need to get that pitch count of Chris Spry's up. See if they can get him out of the ball game. Go to the bullpen. Take their chances there. 3-2 pitch. One hopper. Bender at third with it. Throws across the diamond in time. It ends up being a 1-2-3. Bottom of the 6th inning. There was a hit, but Carter Beck was thrown out trying to turn it into a double. No Regina errors and nobody left on base. After 6, it is Regina 4, Saskatoon 1 as you're watching Barry's baseball on FloCollege. Do we have Regina for an error on that throw at first base on the double play ball? That didn't happen? No, okay, good. Okay. Yeah. We head to the top of the 7th inning. We'll look at the unofficial totals and line score through 6 for the Regina Red Sox. 4 runs on 5 hits. They have not committed an error. They've left 3 runners on base. For the Saskatoon Berries, 1 run on 2 hits. They've committed 1 error. They've left 2 runners on base. New pitcher into the ball game for the Berries will be Diego Quinones. Started the year as a starting pitcher. Now has found himself in the bullpen for a couple of appearances now. This will be his 2nd, in fact, out of the pen. 10th appearance overall. Diego has a record of 3-0, a 4.37 earned run average. Pitched 35 innings, allowed 38 hits, 22 runs, 17 of them earned. Struck out 22 and walked 11. Diego Quinones out of La Cruces, New Mexico, or Sierra Vista, Arizona, depending on who you believe. The Jumbotron has him as Sierra Vista, Arizona. The roster sheet has him from La Cruces, New Mexico. But Diego, coming off his senior year at Weber International University, and we know that to be the actual fact. So he'll start the top of the 7th inning facing the 8, 9, and 1 hitters of the Regina Red Sox. Catcher Rhett Hodgins coming up first. First pitch outside, ball 1. Hodgins 1 for 2. Doubled and scored in the 3rd inning, struck out in the 4th. He's be the 3rd different pitcher he faces in 3 plate appearances tonight. Outside from Quinones, 2-0. Diego Quinones kicks and fires. Hit in the air, left center field. Jalen Freeman coming over a few steps to his left will make the catch, and there's one away. Jordan Tucker, the left fielder, coming up now. Tucker doubled and scored in the 3rd inning. Grounded out to short to lead off the 5th inning. Up for a 3rd time, 1 for 2. His double in the 3rd inning ended in 0 for 7. And he's 5 for 29 against the Berries this season. First pitch swing and a miss, strike 1. Bit of a quiet night here tonight at the ballpark with the Berries struggling against Chris Spry at the plate. There's a strike. 0-2 the count on Tucker. Another good crowd on hand. Folks lining the fence along the outfield. Down low, 1-2. Top of the order, Zaid Brannigan on deck. One-two pitch. Breaking ball outside, 2-2. This result holds. Regina will play Medicine Hat in the first round of the WCBL playoffs, which will start on Wednesday. Foul back to the screen on a 2-2 delivery. Count holds at 2-2. The Berries appear destined to be playing the Moose Jaw Miller Express in the East Division semifinals starting Wednesday here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. It's not official just yet, but we're getting there. 2-2 pitch is outside, full count. Good outing for Matthias Tronson in relief. Just surrendered the one hit. Foul back to the screen again. Full count remains against Jordan Tucker with one away. One run allowed by Tronson. It was earned. He struck out 4 and walked 2. Payoff pitch is down low, ball 4. Gonzalez thought it was a strike. The catcher, Quinones, thought it was a strike. Umpire Trevor Drury did not, and he's the one who counts. So now, top of the order, Zaid Brannigan coming up against Diego Quinones. Tucker has 10 stolen bases. Been caught 3 times. So Quinones has to be wary. First pitch swing and a miss by Brannigan, strike 1. Zaid Brannigan 0 for 2 tonight. Walked and stole a base and scored in the 5th inning. That's the last run scored in the ball game was Brannigan in the 5th. Give Regina the 3-run lead again, which they continue to hold. In there for strike 2 on Zaid Brannigan. Quinones up 0-2 on the Regina leadoff hitter, and now we'll throw over to first and check on the runner at first, Jordan Tucker, who is able to get back safely. Oh, 2 pitch. Brannigan pops it up. Foul territory down the right field side, and that actually gets out of play. So Brannigan holds on with a 2-strike count against him. And Raphael Jackson, the right fielder, on deck. We'll get the rest of the Barry's players in pursuit of that foul ball back into position. First baseman Corey Waters, second baseman Cooper Westland, right fielder Evan Janner, all back in place. Quinones ready to deliver a 2-strike pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Foul tip, caught and held by Rudy Gonzalez. 2 away. Zaid Brannigan muttering to himself as he steps away from home plate. Somewhat surprised that Gonzalez ended up making the catch on that foul tip. So now Raphael Jackson, who's 0 for 3 tonight, has struck out a couple of times on the outside corner from Quinones, strike 1. Jackson was 1 for 4 last night with a home run and a couple of RBI against the Berries. Was 2 for 8 with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs in the last 2 nights against the Berries. He hits a fly ball now, right field, but not deep. Coming over is Evan Janner to make the catch, and that finishes off the half inning. As we head to the 7th inning stretch, no runs, no hits, no errors by the Berries. 1 runner left on base for Regina. After 6 1/2, it's Regina Red Sox 4, Saskatoon Berries 1. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Yeah, I'll check it right away. Yep, you're good, but just leave it. I'm going to... Oh, no, I don't have to. No, you're fine. Sorry. Bottom of the 7th inning coming up here. Regina Red Sox leading the Saskatoon Berries 4-1. We're into the final weekend, final 3 days of the WCBL regular season. This afternoon, Brooks bounced Fort McMurray 13-4. Brooks with their 22nd win. Fort McMurray their 35th loss. Actually, sorry, that's the 21st win for Brooks and the 34th loss for Fort McMurray. Brooks right now a game up on Energy City for the 4th and final playoff spot in the West Division. Okotoks clinched first place in the West Division today, defeating Lethbridge 4-1. They have a second game to play at Spitz Stadium in Lethbridge. First pitch to Ethan Murdoch, leading off the bottom of the 7th inning, is outside from Chris Spry, ball 1. On the inside corner, 1-1. Murdoch has struck out a couple of times against Chris Spry. Speaking of Energy City, they lead in Sylvan Lake 1-0 in the top of the 2nd inning. Outside to Murdoch, 2-1. Swift Current and Moose Jaw scoreless in the top of the 2nd. Weyburn leads Medicine Hat 1-0 in the bottom of the 1st. Fouled back to the screen, 2-2 the count on Ethan Murdoch. Middle 3rd of the Berries order up here against Chris Spry in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nathan Houston and Corey Waters due up as well. 2-2 pitch to Murdoch. Hit on the ground towards second. Brannigan spears it, throws on to first, one away. Spry has thrown unofficially 75 pitches in his appearance tonight. A very effective start for the left-hander out of Skiatook, Oklahoma. Nathan Houston, the shortstop, up. Spry's first pitch is down and in, ball 1. Houston 0 for 2, a fly out and struck out. Spry 3 strikeouts and 2 walks so far in the ball game. Houston on the ground. Bender picks that at 3rd, throws across and dug out of the dirt in time. 2 out. They'll bring up Corey Waters, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. It does happen. A team that hits .322 as a team has an off night at the plate. As Carter Kopp has started warming up down the right field line for the Berries. The first pitch strike to Waters. Down the left field line, they've been playing more hacky sack than anything else. Inside to Waters, 1-1. Chris Spry has had a pretty solid night out in the mound for the Regina Red Sox for Rai Pathakos. 1-1 pitch. Waters hits a line drive to right field. Jackson backing up. It's over his head and all the way to the fence. Waters heading for second base. He'll get there standing up. A 2-out double from Corey Waters, extending his hitting streak to 8 games. Raphael Jackson looking up into the sun, in the sun field, thought he had a bead on it, but it got over his head as he suddenly realized, uh-oh, I don't have this. And now Evan Janner to the plate. Janner 0 for 2. He has a 6-game hitting streak on the line and would like to do something about that. First pitch inside, ball 1. Waters with his 11th double of the year. Waters at second. First pitch, or the pitch into Janner is inside, 2-0. Breaking ball in there for a strike on a outside, 3-0. Looked like umpire Trevor Drury was going to indicate strike. Changed his mind at the last second. So 3-0 on Janner with Rudy Gonzalez, the catcher, on deck. And that's outside, ball 4. Third walk issued tonight by Chris Spry. First and second with 2 away. And Rudy Gonzalez represents the tying run coming to the plate. Still no action down the left field line. Gonzalez bounced back to the mound, walked his last time up and stole a base. Although now we start to see some stirring down the left field side. Chris Spry's first pitch to Gonzalez is down low, ball 1. That's 5 straight balls thrown suddenly by Chris Spry. Up high in the strike zone for a called strike. And the umpires behind home plate in the stands disagree. 1-1 the count. Rudy Gonzalez, right-handed hitter. Down low, 2-1. A breaking pitch. Outside, 3-1. That one was outside by quite a bit. Let's see if Spry can find the plate here. Fouled off, and a full count now on Rudy Gonzalez. 2 away, runners on first and second. Everybody will be moving with the pitch. Starting to make some noise in the stands, trying to get something going with Jalen Freeman on deck. Payoff pitch to Gonzalez. Line drive, left field, base hit. Waters around third. Here comes the throw home. He'll dive in safely. On to third base on the play is Evan Janner. An RBI single for Rudy Gonzalez, who picks a great time to pick up his first hit of the season head-to-head against the Regina Red Sox and makes the score 4-2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning and brings up Jalen Freeman. All this coming with 2 outs. A double by Waters, a walk to Evan Janner, and now a base hit by Rudy Gonzalez, making it 4-2. And Ry Pathakos, the head coach of the Regina Red Sox, still hasn't called for anybody to start throwing as yet. First pitch swinging and moving on the play was Gonzalez. The ball fouled off out of play, strike 1. Freeman, a couple of ground ball outs tonight. Everybody, well, we need some new baseballs coming out to the home plate umpire, Trevor Drury. Pat Janix wearing the BB on the back of his hockey jersey. He'll like that. He is the ball boy, bat boy, Mr. Everything tonight. One strike pitch, foul back to the screen again by Freeman. He's behind Spry, 0-2. 1,775 the announced attendance for tonight here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field on a Saturday evening. It is a long weekend. There is also a Rider game on. Keep that in mind. Gonzalez heading for second, but Freeman strikes out, and that's the end of the inning. Fourth strikeout of the night for Chris Spry to end the Berries uprising. They get a run on 2 hits. There were no Regina errors and 2 runners left on base. After 7, it's the Regina Red Sox 4 and the Saskatoon Berries 2 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. You pitcher. Top of the 8th coming up here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. And another pitcher into the ball game for the Saskatoon Berries. Carter Kopp coming on in relief. Saskatoon product Kopp will be in. He's been sidelined a couple of times this year with some nagging little injuries that have set him back a bit. But when he has been available, he has pitched effectively. This will be his 11th appearance of the season, all in relief. He's got no decisions, a 1.74 earned run average, 10 1/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 13 hits, 4 runs, 2 of them earned, struck out 9, walked 3. Carter Kopp into the ball game. He'll face the meat of the order of the Regina Red Sox here in the top of the 8th. He'll face Matthew Fox, Brady Bye, and James Wright. Fox the shortstop, Bye the designated hitter, and Wright the first baseman. Kopp, again, I mentioned Saskatoon product, 5'10", 170-pounder, right-hander, finishing his junior year at St. Xavier University. Second year with the Berries. He also pitched in this league back in 2022 with the Fort McMurray Giants. Had an 0-1 record that year, a 2.79 earned run average. In 7 appearances, 2 of them starts. Kopp to face Matthew Fox, who's been the big bat for Regina tonight. A couple of RBI singles, 2 for 3. First pitch from Kopp is down low, ball 1. .43 RBI now on the season for Fox. 17 for 39 on the season against the Berries as he takes a strike. And has 8 runs batted in head-to-head against Saskatoon. This is a line drive into right field, but right at Evan Janner for the first out. So his average now against Saskatoon is .425, 17 for 40. New batter coming up for Regina will be the designated hitter, Brady Bye, who put a charge into a pitch his last time up against Matthias Tronson, hit a deep fly ball to straightaway center field. Luckily, it was the deepest part of the ballpark as he takes the first pitch ball from Kopp. Bye singled and scored in the second inning. He's 1 for 3 with a couple of fly ball outs otherwise. On the ground towards second, Westland dropped to his knees to make sure he had it. Gets up and throws him out for the second out. So now James Wright, the first baseman, coming up. 0 for 2, hit by a pitch in the second inning. Carter Kopp hoping to have a quick inning and get the Berries back to the plate against Chris Spry, whom they finally broke through and got a couple of hits on. And a run, doubled their totals for the night in both those departments. The first pitch to Wright is in for a strike. Spry threw a few pitches that last inning as well. On the ground towards the shortstop Houston. Big hop on him, and it jumps off his body into short center field. So an error on Nathan Houston. And it'll bring up the center fielder Ian Montz. Kopp's first pitch to Ian Montz is inside, ball 1. Montz is 0 for 2, walked and stole a base back in the 4th inning. This one's one hopper right back to the pitcher. Kopp with an underhand toss after a few steps towards first, retires the side. That's it for Regina in the top of the 8th inning. No runs, no hits. An error on the Berries and one runner left on base. After 7.5, it's Regina 4, Saskatoon 2. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Okay, that's good. Just let me have a look here. Yep. Good job. That's right. There's no hit. That's right. Yep. As we head to the bottom of the 8th inning, quick peek at the standings. The Berries, again, 44-8 coming into tonight. Clinched first. Medicine Hats clinched second. Regina just needed a win or a Moose Jaw loss in order to claim third and play Medicine Hat in the first round of the East Division playoffs, and Moose Jaw would get the Berries. Okotoks, with their win tonight, has clinched first place in the West Division. There's still a battle for second and home field in a series between Sylvan Lake and Lethbridge. And then Brooks looks like they have maybe gotten the advantage in the battle with Energy City and Fort McMurray for the 4th and final playoff spot. Meanwhile, in the CFL tonight, the Rough Riders lead Montreal 28-6 early in the 4th quarter. Here, Carter Beck leading off against Chris Spry. First pitch is up and in, ball 1. Spry about to throw pitch number 95 here tonight. And it's a strike on a breaking ball on the outside corner, and the umpires behind home plate don't like it. Down the left field line, Nicholas Yard is warming up for Regina. Beck with a line drive, but that one is hooking foul. Foul by a few feet down the right field line. Again, those hit balls for our vantage point are wonderful. I can see that perfectly down the line. Down the left field line, not so much. Balls and strikes from my vantage point, again, not so much. Have to rely on what I know from my time in the game and what I see from the umpire and what I see from the catcher and the pit and the batters. Because you can usually tell based on their mannerisms. 1-2 pitch to Carter Beck coming. To Hopper, Fox, Fields has to gun it quickly and does in time to get Beck, who's now 1 for 4 on the night. first out here in the top of the 8th inning. Cooper Westland now 1 for 3, singled on a bunt single in the 4th inning against Spry. Pathakos, I think, is prepared to go with Spry for as long as he can. First pitch by everybody to the backstop, ball 1. Down low, 2-0 to the Berries' second baseman, Mason Rell on deck. Spry kicks and delivers. Breaking ball in there for a strike. That's a few times tonight. He's fallen behind 2-0 on a batter, and he's thrown a breaking ball for a strike at 2-0. Now 2-1. Down and in, ball 3, 3-1. Westland came into the night, improved on hitting 4 hits in his last 5 games. On the outside corner, an off-speed pitch, a full count. Bottom of the 8th inning, we're not even at the 2-hour mark of this ball game. It's moved along nicely. Westland fouls a pitch off that was low and inside. Stays alive. A full count. Spry from the full windup. 3-2 pitch. Hit in the air to right field. Raphael Jackson goes back a few steps and now makes the catch for the second out on that line drive. So now Mason Rell, who's 0 for 3, but has scored a run. Rell came into tonight having hits in 9 of his last 10 games. The last game he did not get a hit in was back on Thursday night in Regina. He was 0 for 4. He did drive in a run that night. Facing Spry, whose first pitch is way outside, ball 1 to the right-hand hitter. Action down the left field line has stopped. Nicholas Yard has stopped warming up. Pitch up high, breaking ball, 2-0. Let's see if he comes back with that breaking pitch, 2-0 again, as he has the last couple of times. He does, and it's a called strike. 2-1. Ethan Murdoch on deck, hoping to get up. Two-one pitch, fouled off and nails the umpire, Trevor Drury, in the mask. That'll straighten him up and check out his sinuses a little bit. 2-2. Phil McGee, the crew chief, coming down the line from third to check in on Trevor Drury, who says, I'm okay. I'm just going to whisk off home plate here and give myself a moment to get ready again. Top line of the scoreboard at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuces wild here against Mason Rell. Chris Spry delivers. Outside, full count. Rell from West Bend, Wisconsin. 3-2 pitch is called strike 3 on the outside corner. 5th strikeout of the night for Chris Spry, and it's a big one to get him out of the 8th inning. Unscathed, no runs, no hits. No Regina errors, nobody left on base. After 8 innings, Regina 4, Saskatoon 2. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Probably. Top of the ninth upcoming. Regina Red Sox with a 4-2 lead. Carter Kopp stays out for a second inning of work. Only needed 9 pitches unofficially to get through the 8th inning. He'll face the bottom third of the Regina Red Sox order. Riley Bender, the third baseman, catcher Rhett Hodgins, and left fielder Jordan Tucker. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, the Berries will have the middle third of their order coming up. Ethan Murdoch, the DH, shortstop Nathan Houston, first baseman Corey Waters. Assuming Chris Spry comes out to pitch the 9th inning, and 109 pitches so far tonight unofficially. I would not be surprised if Ry Pathakos gives him a chance to complete the game because he's had a very good outing. Kopp against Riley Bender, who's 0 for 3 tonight. First pitch inside, ball 1. Riders have the game in Montreal fairly much in hand, it looks like. Midway through the 4th quarter, Bender hits this one on the ground. Rell steps in front of the shortstop Houston and now throws it away into the dugout. Rell bobbled the initial chance at third base. He cut in front of shortstop Nathan Houston, who was ready to make the play. And then when he bobbled, picked it up again, he threw it wild to first base. So it's an error on Mason Rell. And you can actually give him 2 of them on that play. One for bobbling the ball and one for throwing it away and giving Bender second base. So Rhett Hodgins now to the plate. Hodgins 1 for 3. Doubled and scored in the 3rd inning. Another insurance run on base here for Regina. Hodgins shows bunt and the pitch low and he fouls that back to the screen. Strike 1. Oh, okay. 1 strike pitch. Hodgins showing bunt again. Gets it down. Corey Waters with it. Doesn't have a play at third. Throws on to first to Cooper Westland, the second baseman, covering, as Bender will advance to third with 1 away. Brings up Jordan Tucker, the left fielder, to face Carter Kopp. Red Sox really want that 3-run lead back here in the top of the 9th. Just a little more of a cushion as the Berries bring the infield in. First pitch to Tucker is down low, ball 1. Tucker 1 for 2, doubled and scored in the 3rd inning. Kopp's 1-0 pitch, foul back to the screen, 1-1. Kopp, again, the infielders on the edge of the grass. Inside to Jordan Tucker, 2-1. Well, we've got conflicting attendance reports tonight. One had 1,775 and another one has 1,777. When in doubt, go with the higher number. Outside, 2-1 the count. Sorry, 3-1 the count on Jordan Tucker. Missed a pitch in there talking about attendance. Please excuse me, I'm allowed an error or two. On the outside corner, full count now to Tucker with 1 away. Some people will say, no, I'm not. This one's popped up. Shallow right field. Evan Janner will make the catch and gun the ball back into the infield and get it all the way through to Rudy Gonzalez, as Corey Waters couldn't cut it, but holding his ground at third base was Riley Benders. So 2 away, the runner on third. The infielders will play back, and it'll bring up Zaid Brannigan. 5th appearance of the night for him at the plate. 0 for 3 with a walk, a stolen base, and a run scored in the 5th inning. An 8-game hitting streak on the line for Brannigan. Kopp's first pitch, breaking ball in for a strike. Berries would love to get that third out without giving up a run here. Down and away, and a good block by Rudy Gonzalez. Ball stays in front of him. He practically laid out face down onto the ground to block that. 1-1 the count. Kopp ready to go again. 1-1 pitch. This is fouled up over the top of the first base bleachers and heading towards the Bob Van Impe softball stadium. 1-2 the count there. Raphael Jackson on deck for Regina, hoping he gets a chance. Kopp's 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2, just outside. The umpires in the stands thought it was strike 3, but again, we have another Deuces Wild situation on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Down low, and a full count again. Kopp working hard here, trying to keep Regina from scoring a 5th run. He's about to uncork his 15th pitch of the inning, unofficially. Payoff, popped up, foul territory. It's coming down right around the screen, and Rudy Gonzalez had it hit the screen before it got to him, and it stays alive, does Brannigan. 3-2 the count on the Regina second baseman. Red Sox leading it 4-2. On the ground, big hop for Nathan Houston. Throw on to first, in time. Bang, bang play at first base, but they get Brannigan for the third out in the top of the 9th inning. No runs, no hits for Regina. 2 Berries errors, 1 runner left on base. After 8.5, it is Regina 4, Saskatoon 2. Last chance coming up for the Berries here in the bottom of the 9th as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. I'll have a look at it. I think you're right too. Yep. Gorgeous Saturday night for baseball it's turned out to be here in Saskatoon. There was rain overnight. There was rain again this afternoon in some parts of the city, but right now mostly cloudy skies. The sun's still out. 23 degrees Celsius, winds out of the northeast at 14 kilometers per hour, which means it's blowing in towards home plate. Middle third of the order against Chris Spry, who's back up. 109 pitches coming into the inning unofficially. His first one to Ethan Murdoch is inside ball 1. Murdoch 0 for 3. He has a 9-game hitting streak on the line. Up high, 2-0, Swift Current product Murdoch. 3 for 5 in each of the last 2 games against the Regina Red Sox. Takes a pitch on the outside corner, 2-1. Barry's second crack at trying to break the wins record for a season. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Murdoch 0 for 3 tonight. And now calls time and steps out. Back in quickly. 2-2 pitch is outside. Pitch framed there by Red Hodgins, the catcher, thinking he'd get a call, but he doesn't. And it's a full count on Ethan Murdoch. 3-2 pitch. Lifted in the air. It'll come down into the glove of the first baseman, James Wright, for the first out. It was in on the hands, and he hit a little lazy pop-up. So now Nathan Houston is 0 for 3. Houston with a mini 3-game hitting streak on the go here. Looking to get something going here for the Berries. Corey Waters on deck. Line drive up the middle. Fox takes it on the one hop, throws on the first in time, 2 away. Fox shading up the middle, able to make that play. And so now the Berries are down to their final out as Corey Waters comes to the plate. 1 for 2, doubled and scored in the 7th inning in his last time up. Chris Spry, 1 out away from a complete game. And he throws a strike with a breaking pitch. Spry back in there, down and outside with a fastball, 1-1. Red Sox looking to take 2 straight from the Berries. This one outside, 2-1. Deny the Berries 2 nights in a row getting that wins record in the Western Canadian Baseball League. Hit in the air, center field, but deepest part of the ballpark, and drifting back is Ian Montz. He'll make the catch, and that's the ball game. 3 up, 3 down for the Berries in the bottom of the 9th inning. No runs, no hits, no Regina errors, nobody left on base. An outstanding pitching performance tonight from Chris Spry. He does a number on the Berries bats. Gives up just 4 hits on the night. Strikes out 5 and walks just 3. And unofficially we can say that he only threw 120 pitches. Regina 4, Saskatoon 2, your final meeting of the season between the teams. Berries win 7 out of 10, but they lost 3 of their last 5 against the Red Sox. Regina will be a handful come playoff time. First for Medicine Hat, and if they can get by them and the Berries can get past Moose Jaw, it'll be the Berries having a tough time with them. But here tonight, your final, Regina 4, Saskatoon 2. We'll be back with the final totals up next as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. All right, back to wrap things up from Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field For a second straight night, the Saskatoon Berries are unable to get the 45th victory of the year, which would break the Western Canadian Baseball League record for wins in a season. They have 2 more chances to do it, tomorrow and Monday against the Medicine Hat Mavericks. But tonight, their bats are stymied by Chris Spry. As we take a look at the final totals for the Regina Red Sox, 4 runs on 5 hits. They did not commit an error. They left 6 runners on base. For the Saskatoon Berries, 2 runs on just 4 hits. They committed 4 errors. They left 4 runners on base. Chris Spry pitches a complete game. Get the victory, 3-0 on the year for him. Allows just 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, struck out 5, walked 3 through 120 pitches facing 33 batters. That's a pretty decent outing for Chris Spry. The losing pitcher is Barry's starter, Michael Saul. His record 1-1 on the year. 1,777 on hand to see it here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, a game that took just 2 hours and 11 minutes to play. For the Regina Red Sox, their 28th win against 26 losses. So they're guaranteed to be no worse than 500 this year. They clinched 3rd place in the East Division with the win. They're 2nd in a row. 12-14 on the road, 3-7 head-to-head against the Berries this year. Saskatoon, a record of 44-9 for the season. Their 2nd straight loss. First time this season that the Berries have lost back-to-back games. 23-3 is their record here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. And again, they finished the season series with 7 wins and 3 losses against the Regina Red Sox. 4-2 the final. Berries over Regina over the Berries. See, I'm so used to it. 23 times I said Berries winning. But it was Regina winning tonight 4-2 here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Coming up tomorrow at 1 o'clock, it is the Berries and the Medicine Hat Mavericks to start a final 2-game series to wrap up the regular season. We will be with the webcast on FloCollege at 12:55 with the start of our attempt to bring you the action here. So on behalf of all the folks at Flow Sports FloCollege, everybody involved with the Saskatoon Berries, I'm Les Lazarick. Hope you enjoyed the ball game. Have a great rest of your Saturday evening. We'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon at 12:55 when it's the Berries and the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Again, your final, Regina 4, Saskatoon 2. You've been watching Berries Baseball on FloCollege.